Howdy friends, Pearl Hayning here with Branson U, and because community starts with you, we want to do our best to keep you informed, not only during election season, but also to help you learn more about your community. And to do that today, we are joined by Dr. Ralph LeBlanc, currently serving as our Alderman.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome.
How are you doing, Pearl?
I'm doing well.
Good. First, I want to thank you so much for what you do with Branson U. Like when you started this, it was kind of, I know it was an idea, and then it was started to kind of facilitate people getting to meet the candidates and things like that. But you've kind of taken it to a whole nother level with just the level of education that you're providing for the community. Because if anything, it's the one thing we hear so much of is, why aren't more people voting? Why aren't more people involved? And things like that. And I think, for one thing, people are busy, but I think a lot of times people are just not really understanding of how city government works, how often we have elections, how important it is to have your voice, and how important it is to understand what the candidates on those boards, what they stand for, what they represent, what their vision is for the community and things like that. And I think what Branson U is doing is absolutely amazing, and you're doing a great job of communicating those values to the community. And that's I think Branson U is becoming this hub of information for people, and I think that's I feel that's what you wanted, and it definitely is doing that. I know I subscribe, so I invite you all to like and share this with everyone, because it's really important. Like, your participation in city government is as important as mine, because I really stand for and speak for the residents of Ward 3, but I also do it for the whole city of Branson. So
Everyone works together.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we want to make clear here with Branson U is how easy it can be for people to get involved, and it doesn't have to be intimidating.
Yeah.
So we try to break that down with a lot of the information on our website, and then conversations like this, where we just can sit down, get to know you a little better, and understand more of what you do, because I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And people, one of the things that makes city government seem intimidating is a lack of knowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's get into some of that. You are currently serving as Alderman for Ward 3.
Ward 3,
mentioned,
yep.
And you were involved in city government last year on the planning and development.
Yeah, planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning.
Yeah.
And so what was that experience like leading into this?
Sure.
Because it's very different than the Board of Aldermen.
Yeah, it definitely is. Planning and zoning, responsible for plan developments, and then looking at the different ordinances and things that are going on when it comes to property ownership and all of those things. And definitely different on the Board of Aldermen. We kind of oversee all of those things, but the Board of Aldermen, we work in conjunction with the mayor, and in turn with the city administrator, to make sure that Branson as a community, I kind of coined my 3 during my election was, communication, community, and compassion. Communication is so vitally important, because it helps us to understand what's going on. And when you communicate well, you can break things down, like making understanding government a little bit easier, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Community, who we are as a community, working together, whether it's with planning and zoning or other departments within the city, and even the Board of Aldermen, coming together and being able to take what happens here within the walls of City Hall, and then bring that out to the community. Because one of the things that I've seen happen is that, and it's kind of one of the things that inspired me to run, was, things are never an issue until they show up on your front door. And a lot of times when they show up on your front door, ordinances have been voted on, things are put in place, and you feel like you have no choice, and you feel like, no one's looking out for you. And so this is an opportunity as a community to communicate what's going on within the walls of City Hall, and what our vision is for the city moving forward. And then compassion is just, loving thy neighbor as thyself, and understanding that, people are going to have days, but being open and understanding that if I can help that person just a little bit get through their day, then the next day they have a better opportunity to have a better day, And I think that's vitally important through City Hall, throughout the community, business to business, all of those things. And that's what's got me excited about being a Board of Aldermen. So,
Yeah. So as part of the Board of Aldermen, you're also serving on some of the other boards and committees
Yes,
within
ma'am.
City Hall.
Yeah, I do the Human Resources Committee, and I'm on the Finance Committee, and I'm on the airport, the city, I guess it's the airport right there, C of O,
Okay.
on that committee. And then there's one more that the mayor just asked me to be on, and it's kind of a liaison of city officials, and it's business owners and city government people. And it's almost like I kind of think it's like a economic think tank kind of
Okay.
thing, where we get together, mastermind, and help find solutions to what businesses are struggling with within the community. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Human Resources Committee, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't really see from the outside. So can you tell us a little bit
Right.
about what that is and what your part is
Yeah.
on that?
So human resources is vitally important in bringing in new hires for the city,
Okay.
whether it's on kind of in the utilities department, or even in the administration and things like that. As a Board of Aldermen, we're responsible for 3 quote-unquote employees. That'd be the city administrator, city clerk, and the city attorney. Those are people that we vote on to put in place. But where that really starts is in human resources, and it's recruiting people to come in for interviews, posting job descriptions and availabilities, and that's what human resources does. They post job availabilities, they do the pre-screening, and then us as the board will look at those 3 positions, and we'll come to a conclusion. I know if we're looking for a city administrator, so we're in the process of doing that. We just had a really great briefing done last week during a study session with Jan, the Human Resources Director, and it was very enlightening. And just to see, Human Resources looks at benefits, pay for employees, and it helps to negotiate some of the contracts like health insurance and life insurance and dental and things like that. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, but they're not really seen up front, but they are a vital cog in the wheel of city government, because that's how we get, we got several employees that are getting to that retirement age.
Yeah.
So we have to start recruiting to replace those kind of people. So human resources is a pretty important department. They're up on the 3rd floor. I never knew there was a 3rd floor until a couple of weeks ago. And it surprised me when I actually had to go to human resources. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. Those positions aren't things that people vote for necessarily, but in voting for you, they do contribute
Absolutely.
to having a voice
In those committees.
in those
Yes,
committees
absolutely.
and in those processes, and then you in turn help set the tone for
Absolutely.
the employees that work at City
Yeah.
Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty special. I mean, I never thought that I would have be able to be a voice for people, but it's definitely an important role, and something I take very seriously. And I think over the next year, I'm pretty excited about the direction we're going with the city, and things will be definitely a lot more pleasant around City Hall for sure. Yeah,
I'm excited to see that.
absolutely.
That's great. We're in City Hall right now, just outside of the council chambers actually. So if you all want to come down and see the Board of Aldermen meetings, that's a great opportunity for you to get involved, or maybe just observe the process a little more. There's a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, there is a meeting tomorrow, and that's the thing. Like a lot of the meetings and committee meetings that we have are open to the public, and so again, just another way. If your TV's not exciting, come sit through one of our meetings. They're definitely entertaining and enlightening. Like I said, the one human resources briefing we got last week was very impressive. I was just speaking with one of the department leaders just a little bit ago. We have some amazing, brilliant people that work for this city. And I have been thoroughly impressed by the level of knowledge and understanding that they all have of their departments. We have, people that are not just excellent here at the city level, but, they're on different boards and committees, state and nationally, that are, to be invited to be on those, you have to be top of your game. And so those are the people that we have working here at the city. And I think you're going to see a lot of these people shine a whole lot brighter, because we're really making it incumbent on them to find their sweet spot and where their strengths are, and start executing in the city on what their major strengths are, and then how they can facilitate and help within the other departments throughout the city. So
Very cool.
yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be exciting to watch that unfold.
Yes, it definitely will be.
So if people want to get in touch with you, besides coming to the meetings, which
Sure.
we highly encourage you all to do, are you an email guy, are you a phone guy, or are you a shoot me an email and we'll have coffee kind of guy?
I'm pretty open to all that. Definitely, you can shoot me an email, and I think that's Ralph at Branson.
No, it's R. LeBlanc.
R. LeBlanc, there you go. She knows it better than I do. R. LeBlanc at bransonmo.gov. There you go. And then there's also a phone number that I have, a city phone that rings to me. So you can text me there. You can call me there, leave a message. But I like the email thing probably mostly. It's just a way to. Oh, there you go.
Got a business card.
Yeah, business card right
Yeah.
there. So, text or email. Email's going to be the best way that we could track that information, because it's one thing. I like to be held accountable. If you ask me a question, in fact, I had a client come into my office and was concerned about something that in the community, and and it was actually the day after I got sworn in, and I told him, I was like, I'll check on that. And so he came in a couple weeks ago, and I was able to give him an answer. And it was just learning who had that information, asking that question, getting the answer, and then disseminating back to them. So we want, as the board of aldermen, your alderman wants to be your communication outlet. We want to bring you information, but we also want to know, what are you seeing out in the city that you feel needs concern, and reach out to us and get questions answered. I mean, kind of make it a town hall event or something like that. I think that's pretty exciting. That's something we want to see change, where we want that real open communication, there's that word again, between City Hall and the residents of Branson, and vice versa. Like, we want you to feel comfortable coming to City Hall with your questions, because we really do have great people of vast knowledge that can help you here. So.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go to Branson U, the letter U, bransonu.org, click on the Learn tab, and you'll see a place called Branson Board. Click on that, and it'll show you all the information for all of the aldermen, broken down by ward, so that you can start that conversation no matter where you live in the city. You can get in touch with them by phone or email, and highly encourage you to do that. I love your emphasis on communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that will really foster a spirit of neighborhood within our community.
Sure. We're definitely a unique community. We're a small town with big city appeal kind of thing, and it's incumbent on us to communicate. I say again, City Hall to the residents to City Hall, business to business. Because the lifeblood of our community, because of where we are, is we're a tourism town. So tourists are the lifeblood. So if it's easier for you to come to City Hall, get questions answered about your business, and get your business open, get it open efficiently, then your service to the community is going to be greater. And when those tourists come to town, here's what happens. When they have a great experience at Branson, they don't go back and tell one or two people. They go back and tell 20 or 30 people. And that's how we get visitors to come to Branson. We can do I kind of call it old school advertising, spend money to get visitors. But, what really helps is that word of mouth. And when people come here and they have a great experience at our restaurants, at our theaters, at the attractions and all of those things, they go back and they tell all their friends, all their family, and then everybody wants to come to Branson. And I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. I like that. Small town with a big city feel.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Well, we definitely have some great conveniences here for sure, and more to come. I mean,
Yeah.
the city's on the move. The city's hopping. There's some things that are good economically going on, and you know, I would say this in a time where we're looking at high gas prices and things like that. Like, folks, we're 8 hours, which from 50% of the population of the country, we are an attractive attraction for a lot of people that just want to get away for 3-4 days because that's can still fit in their budget.
Yeah.
With that, even though the gas prices are high, it's still
Yeah.
easy to get here,
Yeah.
and it's fun too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
visiting with us today, Ralph.
Thank you, Pearl.
And again, I encourage you guys to get in touch with your aldermen and get involved where you can. And our website, bransonu.org, has a lot of resources to help you do that. And we'll have more video contact coming up for you guys soon, so stay tuned for that.